Hello everyone, I'm Suman Jha from Asia Pacific. I welcome you all to this session Data Science with R Programming. In this video, I'll be demonstrating
File handling in R programming. Before I start the file handling in R programming, we have already covered the basic of R programming, history of R programming, controls and loops, scalar and vectors, and many things in previous videos. I am sure that before watching this video, you will go through all those videos which will give you the background to start the file handling. Though if you have worked file handling in other programming languages, I'm sure you will find it very easy. Let us start the different kind of files. So today we have different kinds of file like program file, data file, sequential file, random file, and other graphics file, audio files. But basically in programming language we are focusing program files, data files, sequential file, and random file. So first is program file. As the name suggests, program file is the file that contains the code. For example, if you are creating R file, we are going to the RStudio and we are writing the code and we are saving it with the extension .r. So this is a program file. Another is data file. The name suggests data file is the file which is used to store the data. For example, some text file or some Excel file or some database file. These are the example of data file. Then sequential file and the random file. It depends on the access, how the data is being accessed. The word suggests sequential file means the data is being accessed sequentially. When the sequential file is created, all read and write is happening sequentially. However, in the random file, data is being created means stored and retrieved randomly. So that is the reason this is called a random file. Because we are handling the R files here, so there are different kinds of file that can be handled easily in the R programming language. So today very common file is the CSV file. So we will be going to discuss about the CSV file handling, then the Excel file. We are also going to cover the Excel file. The next kind of file is the binary file. Okay, so I'll be covering the binary file. Other kind of files are XML file, JSON file, web file, and database file. So these are the files, and we'll be covering. Before I start handling the file, very important thing is that the location of the file, where in which location we are going to create the file, or your program is going to create the file, or your program is going to retrieve the file. So the most important thing is to get in which working directory the file is there, or in which working directory you want to create your file. So in R there are two functions, that is setwd function and getwd function. These are the two functions is very useful when handling the file in R programming language. First is setwd. Setwd is used to set the current working directory. However, getwd is used to get the current working directory. I have used here the example. This is the setwd. I am going to set the working directory as a C, and after doing I have used here print get WD. The output is C prompt. Because we are going to handle the file, so I have just taken an example as a CSV file named as population.csv, and I wanted to show this is a pollution dot I'm sorry, this is population.csv file having three columns. First column is country, the second column is city ASCII, and the third is population. It just contains the population of the city. So for example, the country name is Japan, the capital is Tokyo, and this is the population. Similarly, the country name is Mexico, the capital is Mexico City, and the population is this. The country name is Bangladesh, and the capital is Dhaka, the population is this. In this way, actually there is a CSV file created which stores the population of the different countries along with the city. This I'll be using for the program. So how to read the CSV file? There is a function called read.csv function which is used to read a CSV file available in the current working directory. Very simple. Here the data is a vector, and inside the data I'm going to read population.csv file which is located in the D drive. So I have used here data read.csv d:population.csv. Now what will happen after execution of this statement? Entire data, entire information available in the population.csv will be transferred to data. Now I am printing this data, and you will see the output here. This is the country name, this is the city name, this is the population. The next is reading a particular column in a CSV file. So nothing special, just you have to use $sign before the column name. For example, the column name is country, then city ASCII and population. So I am trying to print the population column field here. So what I did, the data is a vector, and I am reading the entire population file in the data vector, and from the data vector, this population, as I discussed, the $sign is used before the population name. So it is going to print data $population, and it will print the entire population. Now the next thing is writing into a CSV file. Earlier we discussed how to read the CSV file. Now how to write data inside the CSV file. So the function called write.csv is used to write in the CSV file. See what I am doing here. Here I am creating the data frame. So data is going to read the CSV file. So read.csv population.csv is the same file. Now I am just accessing the population which is greater than 35 million into the subset. The same data is being printed in the data 1, and then now I am reading this in the output file. So write.csv is creating my output.csv. One file is being created, and now I am reading this file, my output CSV, using the read.csv data2 and printing data2. So it will print the data available in this data2, my output.csv file. Now reading a CSV. So printing data using the calculation with the specific column. What we are doing? We are doing some simple calculation. For example, we wanted to see the maximum population inside that particular file. So print max data and then from the population field. So this is the maximum. Then minimum population is 0, because inside that file there are some certain cities where the population was not available. So it was available as a 0 and it's showing 0. Now printing entire data using calculation with a specific column. What is happening? Actually, I am transferring the maximum pollution into this population field, and then I am making a subset into the data 1 and printing the data. What will happen here? Right, the maximum population of that particular city along with the entire row will be visible here. The next is printing entire row using the multiple conditions. The condition I am mentioning here, that the population is greater than this and less than this. So it will print the minimum available in the data 1. So this is the example of multiple conditions. Now again, reading CSV file, printing entire row data using the character condition. Earlier we saw the condition was used with the numerical field. Now, for example, I wanted to see the entire row having the country name is Nigeria. So one subset is created from the data and country equal to Nigeria, and now printing the data 1. So it is printing Nigeria, then Abuja is the capital, and this is the population. Next, I am going to discuss how to handle the Excel file. The same file I have stored with the XLS. Earlier it was saved in the CSV format. Now it is saved in the Excel file, which will be used as an example. So there are certain steps when you are handling the Excel file. So there are basically 5 steps we follow while handling the Excel file. The first one is the installation of Excel package, then verification of installed Excel package, whether it's properly installed or not. The third step is loading the library. Then the fourth step is reading the file, and the final step is printing the data. So the installation is not every time required. It is required only the first time in the system. Once the XLS package is installed, no need to install in the next program. See how to install the XLS X package. Simple. The statement is install.packages XLX. Just put in the R prompt and press enter. It will automatically install. You can see it is installed here. The next step is verification of XLX package installation. So to verify that, you can use the statement any grepl XLX install.packages. It will just return true or false. If it is installed properly, then it will verify the result will be true. If it is not installed, then the result will be false. The third step is loading the package. So loading the package is simple. Using the library function, you can load any package. So I have used here library and then XLX, because we are going to handle the Excel file, so we have to load the library. After that, now it's a simple to read the statement is read docs XLXX population XLXX and seat index equal to 1. The seat index indicates that which seat you are going to access. By default in Excel you will see there are 3 seats, seat 1, seat 2, seat 3. So you have to mention which index. So I'm going to print the first seat, so I have used the seat index equal to 1. So printing the data, it will print the first seat data. The next is binary file handling. So binary file is what? A binary file is the non-readable file that contains information stored only in the form of bits and bytes, which is 0 and 1. It is not the human readable, as the byte is it translate into the character and the symbols which contain many other non-printable characters. So this is used especially to store like password or like some encryption. Binary file is used. So R has two functions. One is write bin and another is read bin to create and read the binary file. So to write, the statement is write bin object and then con, and read bin con what n. So these are the certain parameters used while you are using the write bin or read bin. So the first parameter is the con, which is the connection object to read or write the binary file. The next is the object is the binary file which is to be written. Next is what is mode like character integer representing the bytes to be read. N is the number of bytes to read from the binary file. So here is the screen that indicates the certain steps which we follow when you are handling the binary file. So this is the screen I have used here. There are certain 6 steps where I am going to cover how to write in the binary file. It's a simple 6 steps. In the step 1 and step 2, I am going to retrieve some data which is already available, and that I am going to write in the binary file. So writing the binary file, there are 3 steps. The step number 1 is file name, the second is column name, third is the record. So it's a very simple. So 6 steps I have used here. As I discussed, in the first 2 steps I am using one CSV file which is already available with the system, and using the another 3 steps where the first step I'll create the file, binary file. The second step I will create the columns, and third step I will create the rows, and finally I'll close the file. So step by step I'll discuss. Step number 1. So there is empty cars data frame which is already inbuilt with the R. I'm going to use this empty cars as an example to show. So in the step 1, what I'm just going to create a file called mtr car csv using the mtr data frame, and the row name will be false and column name will be true and separator will be comma. Actually I have used this statement, and this file created with the name I have mentioned here, emptycars.csv. So this is an example. The working directory is my document, so this is created in the my document. As discussed, this file is already available, and using the empty cars data frame I am going to access this file. Step 2. Now I am going to write this mtr CSV file is empty currently, and I am going to write only 5 records available in the empty card data frames. So these are the 5 records. It is written here. Now step 3. Till now I was not discussing the binary file handling. Now the binary file handling starts from here. The first 2 steps I have just used for data pickup. If you are going to input the data from keyboard, no need to follow the first 2 steps. You can take input from the keyboard. However, I wanted to access the available data, and that is the reason I have used empty cars data frame. From step 3, I am going to discuss the binary file. So in handling the binary file, there are 3 steps. Step number 1, what is the file name, in which location you are going to store. Number 2, what are the certain columns. Number 3, what are the rows, means the data. So step 3, I am just writing write file name file. So begin empty cars dot dat will be created, and W indicates the write and B is the binary file. So one binary file will be created with the name bin empty cars dot dat in the current working directory. See, after execution of this, one binary file is created, and see, in my system the .dat is opened with the VLC, so this is the reason by default this icon has been taken. Now this step 4, what I am going to do, I'm just going to write here the column name. Okay, so the column is new dot empty cars dot write dot file name. So it will write the column names. See the step 4, write the column names. Now the step 5. So in the step 5, I am going to write the columns available in that particular CSV file. So in the CSV file, column is CYL, then AM, and then gear. So it will indicate the details of the car which is available in that CSV file, which will be written in that file. And finally, the file will be closed. So see, this statement is close, right, and the file name. So this will close the file. So file must be closed. Until and unless the file is not closed, that file cannot be opened in the another program. So at the end, file must be closed. So this is the reading of the file. It was writing of the file. Now further, I'm going to discuss the reading a binary file. So there are 2 parts. One will be file reading, another will be printing from the data. So to read the binary file, RB is used. R is for read and B for binary file. Before this, we saw it was WB. So W stands for write and B for binary. But in this case, because we are going to read the file, so it is showing as a RB, means read the file. So the statement used here is read.file name. So the same file I am going to read, which I have created in the previous example, it was binmatcast.dat, and because I am going to read the file, so RB is used. After that, what I am going to do, because this is a binary file, so we have to mention that how many bytes at a time we are going to read. So here I have used 3. So first 3 bytes will be used as a first column. Next, again reading, so file name integer, I mean it will be converted to the integer, and then 18 bytes. Now which is going to print now. So all the data has come in the bin data, which is being printed, and now from 4th byte to 8th byte is converted to CYL data, which is going to print So one by one, all columns based on the certain bytes. So 4th byte to 8th byte is the COIL data. After that, again there will be separator. Then 9 to 13 is the AM data. Again there will be separator. And after 14 to 18 will be the gear data of the car. So printing the gear data. And finally, I'm going to combine the CWILE data, then AM data, and then gear data. So cbind function is used to combine, and the final data coming in the final data. So this is as a column name, and we are going to print. So this is the reading of the file.